the three homages. Buddham saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami.
Good morning and welcome everyone here and present, as well as wherever you may be across the world. It's funny, when we stream stuff, we can look at the analytics, and there's people from all over the place tune in. So also our friends in Japan sometimes. Just happy to see people. It's nice. And so if you have tuned in, sorry if you're here, if you have tuned in from on the streaming, the order of service and the chants are available on our live stream page. We begin with the three homages, as you just heard, and that will be followed by our Shoshinge chant and incense offering. This will be a little bit different than the old pattern was. For those of us here in person, we've got these recordings all set up, so we chant in our heads, and that engages energetically the part of us that connects to the vibrational, spiritual qualities. It's best if we do not chant aloud for semi-obvious reasons. So, people at home can just chant their little hearts out, so please do, if you're at home, chant your little heart out. I never know if it's that camera or that camera, but okay. Shin Shonin, the founder of our lineage, wrote the Shoshinge about 800 years ago, and the Shoshinge compresses his experiences and insights with Pure Land Buddhism into one pleasantly lengthy poem. Some people think it's long. I don't think it's long. It just kind of rolls along, and then 20 minutes later you're done, So he is certainly here with us today through this. In it, we realize the principles that guide our lives. Shinran wanted us to know that this is more than just a journey from cradle to grave, that we're part of a long, unbroken thread of life that extends infinitely into the past, and we are responsible to carry that thread onward into the future. The incense offering, during the Shoshinge, while we chant, we'll ask people to go by rows. So if you're in the first row, then you'd be the first group to offer incense, and then the second row, they'll go, and then the third row, like that. Also, when we exit the temple, we'd like to do it that way, so just to keep things organized and to avoid congregating at the doorways. Folks at home, please offer incense. If you don't have incense, you can offer food, you can offer water at your home altar. The incense offering is a cleansing of the mind and the body before receiving the Dharma. The burning of incense symbolizes transcending our selfish self-individuality, but the particle nature of the incense. We transcend that. When the incense is burned, it's liberated and it becomes smoke. It spreads everywhere. Here on the altar is Amida Buddha offering boundless wisdom and compassion to us all. We offer incense with an open heart and deep gratitude to all our teachers.
妙無量寿如来。南無不可思議光法蔵菩薩に寺在世自在応部所刀剣勝負浄土院国土人間自然幕本流無常修正願長法慶右大偶勢高校士唯士小樹十世妙正文字法不法無量無変更無限無体公園の少女歓喜知恵子不断難死無償子小日が交渉人生一切群上無交渉本願用語少女語死心心行願に因上等学章大涅槃非死滅道願成就如来勝意公修世唯世弥陀本願会五辱惑自群上会往生如来両実言の本一年喜愛心不断本の特涅槃本性逆法さえ入領収死入会一味聖主信法上昇後異の水波無明は本来心臓死運無上空心事心人天異名に幸福運無運無しげ妙無安逆心謙虚大狂気即合超税合悪臭一切全幕本部人門心如来流世願運言広大小芸者全人名踏んだりけリーダー部本元年部邪変教が楽修上信行十字人に南州市が昔インド祭天四論下中華自治一期思考層現代小構成小異妙如来本税大き釈迦如来両合戦一種合如来天竺流樹大事修道生執の在派無無権先生大乗無情法小官議事小安楽賢治難行六六信行異行四行楽億年弥陀部本願次年即時入上唯の上昇如来道応報大悲偶勢音天神菩薩増論世奇妙無下根如来永修他天神寺後世の長大聖願こういう本願力栄光医療群上小維心非入空毒大崩壊筆脈入大永修修特使蓮華造世界即小信用法小心有本の人間人図入生自音自用下本自動願両天使上高蘭上菩薩来三蔵如是十上教本性専業気楽法天神菩薩論中下報道因果見世願大言霊光有他力少女死因有信人惑前本部信人法承知承知即涅槃非死無量根陽道小宇宙上開復系同社継承同難承唯妙浄土活入万全自力変言宗円満特語感染症三風三心慶音言増魔法明道義因 一生増悪地偶税思案妙解消妙解全道六妙無償意公愛上三両逆悪公明明後家二年開入本願大智慧両者小樹混合心狂気一年総合両位大と逆三人即所法所市上楽献身公開一大教返帰安養可二祭先祖終身反戦人法系二両小弁流極十悪人唯勝部大薬剤非正集中煩悩証言水不見大義無権上昇が本次元空妙仏教連民全幕本部人新宗教書本編集戦弱本願具悪性現代生寺林伝芸形式異常異常し即入弱上無意楽一心寺に納入仏教大義修士と上妻無縁極弱悪王族自修道心唯過心し
安にしくどくよどせいさいども大心おじょは
Good morning. Today's reading, shuffle my papers here real quick, is from the Mabha Vingada Sutra, an analysis of the path. Thus I have heard, at one time the Buddha was staying in Savatthi at the grove given by Prince Jeta in the monastery built for the Sangha by Anathapindika. There the Buddha addressed his students, saying, I will teach and analyze for you the Noble Eightfold Path. Listen and pay close attention to my words. Thank you, teacher, they responded. The Buddha began, Now, what is the Noble Eightfold Path? Right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right quietude. And what is right understanding? Knowledge leading to the flowering of joyful life. This is right understanding. And what is right thought? Clearly settling the thoughts on compassion and on harmlessness. This is right thought. And what is right speech? Speaking truth, using words that bring harmony. This is right speech. And what is right action? Sustaining life, receiving only what is given, avoid indulgence. This is right action. And what is right livelihood? Sustaining life with wholesome work is right livelihood. And what, friends, is right effort? There is the case where a student generates desire, endeavors, activates persistence, upholds, and exerts influences to keep unwholesome qualities from arising. We generate desire, endeavor, activate persistence, uphold and exert intention to abandon evil, unskillful qualities that have already arisen. We generate desire, endeavor, activate persistence, exert our intention towards the arising of skillful qualities that have not yet arisen. We generate desire, endeavor, activate persistence, exert the intention to maintain clarity, increase abundance, and foster skillful qualities that have arisen. This, friends, is called right effort. And what is right mindfulness? Bright awareness of the body, feelings, mind, mental constructs, and consciousness itself is right mindfulness. And what is right quietude? Stilling directed thought in equanimity, abandoning pleasure, pain, listening deeply. This is called right quietude. That is what the Buddha said. Gratified, the students delighted at his words. The Buddha retired to his hut. We will now have a few minutes of meditation accompanied by music. Please stay quiet where you are.
we will now have Dharma School. Let's sing them out with Let the Buddha Walk With You in your heads. Okay.
Reverend Matthew is going to do Dharma School today.
Yay!
Please don't be frightened.
All right. I have a terrible time with this microphone because my ears are not very large. Okay. So lovely to see friendly faces here today. Thank you so much for making this special effort to enhance your spiritual connection to the infinite wisdom and compassion of the universe. And thank you to those of you at home. We really appreciate you tuning in and sharing this precious time together. So, I'm happy to get to sit here and have the chance to speak to you today while Reverend Matthew is outside having fun with Tammy and Amanda. So, I can share my thoughts as he often does with you. Gathering together is sacred. It is important, and it is valuable. You have made the effort to be with us today and here at home, and that really does fill my heart with so much gratitude. We are glad when new people find us and find the Dharma. The path of your spiritual life has led you here. Online or in person is great. Please know that you are always welcome at Reno Buddhist Center. Just last week was the anniversary of the Buddha's first teaching at the Deer Park near Varanasi, some 2,600 plus years ago. He expounded on the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. This is the great natural way to a wholesome, joyful life. It is a middle way with 8 aspects: just right understanding, thought, speech, action, and today, effort, livelihood, mindfulness, and quietude. Remember the Pali word sama? Just right. I think Reverend Matthew has talked about this. Sama belongs to the wholesome side of life. It also shades toward being virtuous, directing us toward nirvana, eliminating the unwholesome and developing what is good and wholesome. Like we heard in the sutra today, sama is just rightness. Like when in the past, a long time ago, when I used to play tennis, I would toss the tennis ball up to serve, and if I tossed it too high and wait too long for the ball to come down, I would hit it late and the ball would go in the net. If I tossed it too low and hit the ball too low, or maybe timing was off, it would sail past the baseline. But if the toss is just right and the timing is just right at the top, maybe I could serve an ace. So, sama is kind of like that. It's like not right or wrong, but just right. Today I want to ask, what is just right effort on the Eightfold Path? Sama vayamo is the energetic quality that we have when we pursue the Dharma. You may have heard the word virya. It has the same root as vayamo, effort. It has the nature of a heroic person, or vira. Vira is hero in Pali. Heroes have energy. Virya They have virya and make the effort and can change the world. If energy is applied by body and mind toward doing wholesome actions, this is important. It has effect. To follow the Eightfold Path does take energy. Energy initiates and supports all wholesome consciousness. We experience energy as perseverance, working toward a goal. It takes virya to take refuge here. We have to energize our mind to experience gratitude for all we have received from the benevolent Buddhas. I was coming back from giving a pillow service in Carson City a couple days ago, and that the pillow services are kind of our last rites before someone transitions. And the chant Om Mani Padme Hum just spontaneously started in me as I was driving. I didn't try to decide, it just came up. And so I chanted it all the way home for 45 minutes. And it didn't take a lot of effort. I even tried to kind of stop to take a breath or to swallow. It just kept coming. And it was just amazing how there was really no effort. It just wanted to come out. So it brought forth a strong and sustained energy. It kind of felt like I had drank strong coffee some hours after that, and it just brought this vibrant energy forth. It was pretty amazing. All wholesome consciousness contains some effort. Effort arises in harmony with enlightened qualities of a Buddha. The presence of Amida Buddha in the universe is a great source of wholesome energy that makes our little efforts possible. The Japanese word tariki is what we call this other power, and it is the moving force toward joyful life. It is beyond our selfish self, and at the same time, deep within us. Our effort toward spiritual growth is the internal experience of other power, tariki. When you take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, as we always do here, this arises in your mind a bright, glad-minded consciousness, beautiful mental qualities. Wisdom dominates in the mind. It is powered by effort. As Shariputra said, when effort arises, unwholesome mind states will not come to be. And with this brightness, unwholesome mind states will be canceled out. That is how effort propels us to wholesome action. It wipes away unskillful junk in our minds and catapults our skillful actions. That sounds like we do it. The famous Zen priest Shunryu Suzuki said, "When you observe the Eightfold Path without trying to observe the Eightfold Path, that is truly observing the Eightfold Path. That captures the just right part of our effort." When we teach the Nembutsu, Namu Amida Butsu, it is not just a kind of training. It is the actual way we transmit Buddha's teaching. Words by themselves are not good enough to make his teaching real. The Dharma is experience transmitted through activity and relationships. Living the Eightfold Path orients you toward a relationship with Amida Buddha. Amida Buddha accepts you just as you are. And that acceptance energizes our efforts to live the Dharma. At first, you may like Buddhism not because you want to study, but for some other reason. And that doesn't really matter. If you have confidence in Amida Buddha's other power, you don't need to understand or figure it all out. You will be Amida's dear child. and you can follow the way, always held, never to be let go, as it is said. Trusting Amida Buddha is very important. At the same time, it is difficult to be truly trusting. We live in a very cynical world. Just make your best effort and trust will come. Shinjin in Japanese, that truly entrusting feeling that you have deep, deep in your body. Shinjin will come through this effort of acceptance. At the temple or at home, at your altar, we practice simple rituals together. These rituals are much more than just going through the motions. Through rituals, we communicate and transmit the teaching in the truest sense. We put emphasis on taking refuge in Amida Buddha, which is selflessness. When we join our hands together and remember the Buddha, we decouple from our own needs and become part of a larger offering. There are individuals here and at home, and yet we also are a part of the other power of Amida Buddha. We are all connected. For instance, when we are chanting, some Buddhists say we are really reciting the sutra with our ears. With our ears, we listen to all the voices as one. Like my experience returning from the pillow service, the chant chants you. In chanting, we have real shinjin, a true sense of trusting. Shinjin does not mean we give up our role. In shinjin, we let go of trying and just do just right effort. As long as you think, I need to make myself less selfish, you are residing in the idea that the self is the answer. When you chant your own chant together with others, then your true selflessness just happens. Shinjin just happens, naturally, spontaneously, in and out of itself. The Jinen quality. This is truly following the Eightfold Path. Remember, if you try to follow the Eightfold Path, that is not true following of the Eightfold Path. When you follow it without trying to follow, without calculation or expectation, you have internalized the path. Effort is required, but not the kind you'd expect. Trying to be spontaneous is a subtle puzzle. Let it happen. Let the wholesome qualities arise naturally. Let the energy of the Buddhas flow through you, through your body, and then back out into the world, naturally. Our true nature is eternal, joyful, selfless, and pure. When we understand the Eightfold Path is an expression of our nature, our true nature, just as it is, then there are folds in the path to follow. When we follow expressing our true nature, we've settled into the just right amount of effort. Consciously trying to follow the Eightfold Path is not necessary. On the other hand, however, we do develop some kind of unwholesome habits in life. They go in the opposite direction the current of the stream wants to go. We are bonbunin, in Japanese that means foolish beings. We want to follow the Eightfold Path, but it seems really hard to do sometimes. And that's okay. We feel like we should follow it. It seems like it would help us. At first, we understand the Eightfold Path in maybe a negative kind of way, a prohibition way. Don't do unskillful things. That is following the way of brute force. So we have a choice to follow the way, one which is negative. It takes a lot of trying, and the other is positive. It takes less effort, less efforting, the just right kind of effort. For me, the easy path is more sustainable and probably more effective for all of us. When we don't feel that we can follow all of the Eightfold Path, then remember it is a guide. The folds are guidelines for directing your life. The folds are not rules decreed by someone. They are reasonable parameters given by a reasonable being. They lead to becoming reasonably joyful. The rest is up to your own application of just right effort. At first, we depend on our teachers and the community to model and guide us, and that is wonderful and very appropriate. This is the best way, and you begin by following the maybe don't do this kind of view of the Eightfold Path. When you become familiar with our way, you will have a more positive view of the path. The wisdom and compassion of the Buddha expresses itself through you without calculation and self-interest getting in the way. We should make our utmost effort to help each other. And when we do not follow the path just for the sake of the path, or practice rituals for the perfection of rituals, we are studying how to express our true nature, how to let go I, me, my habit energy, how to take refuge and allow other power energies of wisdom and compassion to express through us without our calculation getting in the way. To close, we make extra effort to offer this special metta prayer. Just repeat after me. May you be happy. May you be free from harm. May you receive boundless compassion. And may peace and harmony fill your heart. Namo Nams, Namo Nams, Namo Nams. Thank you so, so much for being here and listening and taking in the Dharma. It's a very important message given to us by Shakyamuni Buddha over 2,600 years ago in Deer Park, Varanasi. We will now sing in our heads our temple song. Please sing at home, Home in the Meadow. You can follow the words in our Shoshinge book. That's the last page, I think page 49, if you'd like to look at the words. This special song was decided upon, was given to us by Dr. Alicia and Reverend Daigon Matsunagas, our founders of this wonderful temple. So this song has a very special place in our hearts. Away, away, come away with me, where the grass grows wild and the winds blow free. Away, away, come away with me, and I'll build you a home in the meadow. Come, come, there's a wondrous land for the hopeful heart and the announcements. We have most of our offerings at RBC happen via Zoom. And so we have Dharma Book Group on Wednesdays, every Wednesdays at 6:30, and Golden Light Meditation every second and fourth Thursdays at 6:30, and Refuge Recovery every Wednesday at noon and Fridays at 6. And then we have something in person is RBC Yoga. If you want to get up before 8 o'clock in the morning and join us here, you're welcome to. And we also live stream that simultaneously, so we socially distance our mats and it's fine. We have other recovery yoga groups that meet here as well, and you can find that schedule on our website calendar. The rest of our groups haven't felt safe enough to come back here for in-person meetings, so I think they still continue to Zoom meet. So we do look forward to when we can engage more in a more group setting, but for now we are happy to have you come and tune in online as well. So if you ever need a mask, RBC has a huge supply of them. Some generous mask makers have donated many masks, so if you or your family members or friends need some extra masks, please ask us, and we're happy to share those with you. So I think that's all the announcements. We can talk with you outside if you'd like. We have Newcomers Circle if you have questions. George would be... You're not going to do it today? Oh, Reverend Matthew will lead it today outside if you'd like to ask a question or find out more about RBC. You're welcome to talk with us. Otherwise, be safe, be well,